In an era defined by rapid innovation and AI-driven disruption, delivering an exceptional user experience has become the ultimate differentiator for enterprises. Products and services are no longer enough. What sets businesses apart is how seamlessly, intelligently, and securely they engage with their customers. Yet, despite heavy investments in digital transformation, enterprises struggle with customer satisfaction, leading to higher churn, missed opportunities, and declining customer loyalty. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Analytics Insight podcast, where we talk about the ever evolving tech space. And I'm your host, Priya Dialani. Now, agentic AI is definitely the next wave of revolution, and leaders have witnessed unprecedented transformation unfold across different industries. With agentic AI, companies can finally move from reactive problem solving to proactive, personalized, and secure experiences at scale. Let's welcome Amresh Acharya, MD and CEO of Loyalty Rewards, to discuss how agentic AI engagement platforms are transforming customer loyalty from just a mere reward program into intelligent behavioral ecosystem. Hi Amresh, a warm welcome to our podcast.
Hi, Priya. Good afternoon, and thank you for having me here.
Great, it's a pleasure to have you on this episode of ours today, Amresh. And of course, I think when we talk about loyalty, we have definitely witnessed a great evolution of how loyalty has transformed itself till date, and we are going to talk a lot about it in our discussion today. So let's start by setting the foundation right and telling our listeners more about loyalty rewards, its specialization and alongside that, a little bit more about you, Amresh. How has the journey been till date, and what exactly is your role at Loyalty Rewards?
Thank you, Priya. Let me start with first a little bit about Loyalty Rewards, our company. So, Loyalty Rewards Management Private Limited is a 18-year-old company which specializes in providing technological and service infrastructure for loyalty programs being run by businesses. So it started as a BFSI focused entity where we were focusing on running loyalty programs for credit and debit cards in the banking industry. That's how it started 18 years back. But as you rightly mentioned in the introduction in the broadcast to the concept of loyalty, uh, the company has also evolved with the times. It's evolved in several directions. So, first of all, we are no longer just a BFSI company. We now are actually running loyalty and engagement programs for non banks, non financial institutions as well. That's the first sort of kind of diversification we had as a company in the 18 years of our journey. The second part of diversification, and that comes as for the first step to the agentic AI concept that you said, is hitherto years back we were just a loyalty engine that basically allowed institution like, let's say, a bank to calculate, let's say, loyalty points, saying, okay, a customer A has done a transaction, I should give him 10 rupees in the form of points, calculation of that, and then giving them some sort of a interface like a website to use that points to buy goods and services. So you could buy, let's say, a hotel room, you could buy an airline ticket, you could buy a Amazon gift voucher, you could buy anything, right? So it was actually allowing you to sort of give an entire interface and a technological platform for the same. What it has evolved in now is also an engagement platform, which basically means is we now in this platform has also built data science and AI capabilities, which means, for example, the platform, because of the way it does the transaction monitoring, knows that a customer A actually uses his, let's say, card in this example for grocery and petrol purchases, fuel purchase. Okay. Now we know that. Now that information is very, very useful. Okay. So, for example, I can use now data science, machine learning, and AI, a combination of this, to sort of prod you to do something more with the car. So, for example, why aren't you buying apparel? Where are you buying apparel from? Somewhere else, I guess, right? You can't not be buying apparel in your life, right? So it allows us to also build a very, very sophisticated data science and machine learning engine on top, which kind of in turn allows us to use agentic AI to sort of guide the customer to do what is good for the customer and good for the entity that owns the customer. So we've moved, therefore, from being a loyalty company into a engagement company in that sense. In terms of my own personal journey, Priya, I was a banker all my life, and about 8 years back, I decided to kind of leave a career in banking and plunge into looking after this company. So I am the MD and CEO of Loyalty Rewards, and being the MD and CEO of Loyalty Rewards, me and my team basically are trying to, work out how we can work better for our clients in the journeys of technology and AI and other things that are happening in our industry.
Well, that was a fantastic overview, Amresh, and thank you for sharing that. And we are really glad to understand how Loyalty Rewards is effectively integrating tech and positioning itself as a tech-driven, presenting itself as a tech-driven solution and an organization, and enhancing the overall loyalty ecosystem in today's era, where the customer demands and changes, and their expectations are changing every minute. And I think it's also clear that your entire leadership and your work sits at the intersection of technology, strategy, and business transformation.
Yes,
Great.
thank you.
With that foundation, set in place, let's dig deeper into why customer loyalty is so important, and why it's essential for sustainable business growth in today's market. Beyond the compelling economics, with customer acquisition costing up to 25 times more than retention, customer loyalty presents a fundamental shift in how businesses approach their value proposition. So, how is this concept of customer loyalty evolving beyond traditional rewards and retention models?
So first of all, Priya, I would like to sort of comment on your first part of a sentence, which says in today's market. I would beg to differ here. Customer loyalty retention was always important. I mean, let's go back 40 years. Okay, why now? Okay, went to a vegetable vendor 40 years back. Okay, I remember my mother going to a vegetable vendor 40 years back. Okay, the vegetable vendor exactly knew if the person was a regular customer of the vendor, what are the kind of vegetables he or she bought. He knew that at the end of the purchase, he or she likes to get free, mirchi and dhania, in our traditional terms as a giveaway, okay? Because I buy from you every time, right? So loyalty, even the local grocer 40 years back, knew exactly what you behave like. So the concept of wanting the customer to come back again and using customization, because I kind of know what you do, okay, and I know what you like, and I kind of know what kind of incentives you like to take, so that you come back to me again, was always there. I think the word I want to use here is scalable. I think what technology has done, in terms of three things. First, technology has made the scale possible, in the sense that today, going back to the example I used earlier, unlike earlier, organization that has millions of customers, okay, can now, using scalable technology, in one glance sort of segment customers into what customers like what and what customers like what. Okay, that was not possible. So it could have been done at an individual grocer's level, at an individual vegetable vendor's level, but it is now possible at scale. A bank having 20 million customers can know these are the customers that use my, let's say, a card only for this, or these are my customers who use my app only to do bill payments but don't do anything else, or these are my customers who normally go and buy jewelry because I only see jewelry purchases on the thing, or these are my customers who go and buy jewelry on Dhanteras. Okay, all that was not possible at scale, that is possible at scale today. What that has meant, Priya, in terms of the end customer part, is the end customer today is already digitally very savvy. So the smallest to the largest customer is now on a mobile, if not on a PC, or maybe both. So that end customer today has started seeing this experience across e-commerce platforms, across rapid commerce platforms, across even movie platforms and dining platforms. So he or she is now exposed to lots of this technology as a given. And so it is now very pertinent and important for brands, and customer loyalty running organizations like ours to ensure that you are using the same technological scalability that is available to bring up these, sort of rewards and retention models that were possible hitherto in a earlier, non-technology era. So the concept does not change. It is just how we use technology to sort of measure it, analyze it, and deliver it that has changed.
Well, that was very well said, Amresh. And I think I agree with you that retention has always been a very crucial element, of each and every business, whether you're talking about a vegetable vendor or even for a Fortune 500 company that way. And I think, yes, I mean, customer loyalty today is no longer just about points or discounts or transactional rewards. Consumers today are looking for more meaningful relationships with brands, ones that align with their values, or they can understand the preferences and deliver personalized experiences across every touch point. And with what you said, with AI driven personalization, organizations are being challenged to rethink what loyalty truly means today and how they can create those experiences to keep their customers engaged for the very long term, and rather than just incentivizing on their repeat purchases.
Thank
Great. So, Amrish, in the introduction part, we discussed about agentic AI, and loyalty rewards is also leveraging the power of agentic AI. Now, over the last couple of years, I think artificial intelligence has dominated the business conversation. Executives and leaders are asking how they can use AI to reduce costs and make processes more efficient. But I think that's only a partial starting point. The broader benefits revolve around how AI can reinvent and improve the customer experiences. So, in what ways and how do you think that agentic AI can change the way brands interact with customers when compared to traditional engagement systems?
So let me start the answer, Priya, with actually a end customer journey and then go backwards as to how it is getting done. So imagine you are on a travel portal, okay, and you've gone and bought a ticket, airline ticket to a city somewhere. Now, the moment you do that, the system knows that you are intending to travel to that city, right? Because you've gone and bought a ticket. Now, an agentic AI sort of a system will throw a question at you, Mr. or Miss Customer, thank you for booking your ticket. Would you want to stay in a hotel? The marketing English can be a little better than what I use, but essentially asking you, what are you going to do at your accommodation over there? And then use that conversation to, in fact, throw up a few options. For example, if it knows that you have bought a business class ticket, okay, then it knows that you're a premium customer. Then it may not show you the budget hotel. It may ask you, are you interested in staying downtown, or are you interested in staying at a mountainside with a view, for example, if that city has such, if that destination has such options, right? It kind of starts working with you in a very, how should I put it, interactive sort of a way to sort of create customized journey which you feel you own, because you're being asked, you're being nudged, you're being shown, you're being given the options, and you are working on it as you go along. Now, here comes the fact. You've gone ahead and now booked a premium hotel, given that you're a business class customer in, let's say, something in town. It also knows that, in your last purchase that you've done, your last transaction, you had also gone ahead and booked an experience. For example, you had booked a theater. Okay, you had gone and seen a Broadway play, or you had gone and seen a cinematic something. Okay, it knows that you are into that. Or it knows last time you had actually pre-booked a spa. Now, here is where agentic AI becomes very different. It starts using your, the system's knowledge about what you're doing. It starts using the system knowledge about what's available in that particular, sort of environment that you booked yourself for, and it starts nudging you and sort of proactively giving you an experience that you had not imagined could be possible digitally. Now, again, I always say this, given that we are part of a technology company here, nothing is different from what used to happen earlier. If you went to a travel agent 40 years back and did the same thing, you'd probably do it depending on how good he was at selling and knowledge and all. You'd probably do the same thing. Oh, you're going to this city. Do you also want hotels? I also have a tie-up with a car tour over there. I also have a tie-up. You're going to Amsterdam. You can go and see windmills. With agentic AI, it's possible at scale, real time, online, contextual. So at the time where customer is actually there to do it, you're doing it with him there. You're not waiting for the customer to exit the transaction and then somewhere with the afterthought saying, oh, he's gone and booked an air ticket, I should sell him a hotel. Like, so agentic AI is enabling a lot of things real time, contextually personalized, and after segmenting the customer intelligently. That's how the difference it's making to our journeys. So you're using your loyalty points for that journey. I can just make it that much more, interactive and, if I may say, highly engagement driven for you when you're buying, using your points to buy any of these services. Or let's take a voucher. That's a different example. You've gone ahead, and I know for a fact that you have gone ahead and used the portal, let's say the loyalty portal, to buy sports equipment in the past. So I should, if I am having a promotion of, let us say, a sports equipment or a sports retailer, happening at the same time, I can actually throw that to you proactively, saying, Mr. Customer, so and so sports retailer is running a promotion where for the next 1 month your purchases you will have 10% off, and here is a discount coupon, for example. So agentic AI can do a lot of things which are possible only manually in a very small scale today, which you can do today in a very large scale and very, very real time and personalized.
That's an insightful perspective, Amresh, and definitely, I think when compared to traditional engagement systems, which typically relied on predefined workflows and reactive interactions, I think agentic AI has the potential to anticipate needs and orchestrate actions across multiple touch points in real time. And what makes this particularly exciting is that, is for the brands is the opportunity to create far more personalized and continuous customer journeys. So, and instead of treating every interaction as a separate event, they can build experiences that evolve based on customer preferences and their, objectives. So the entire focus kinds of shift from transactional engagement to a more relationship driven engagement.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Now, when we talk about agentic AI, it also, however, I mean, the integration of AI also raises questions about the authenticity of these interactions. Now, when a customer receives a message crafted by an AI or interacts with a virtual assistant, the line between human and machine blurs. And consumers are also increasingly aware of this dynamic, and they're adjusting their expectations accordingly. As AI continues to evolve, the challenge for brands will be to ensure that these interactions do not lose the emotional connection, that typically defines customer loyalty. So, how can brands ensure that customer engagement remains authentic and human-like while still making space for that AI-driven autonomy?
Let me start by saying that there are various angles over here. So let's first talk about, if I may say, sort of the tipping point that you spoke about in the beginning. I go back to my banking days, say 30 years back. There must have been maybe 100 ATMs in this entire country. Okay, and people went to a branch to withdraw cash. And trust me, Priya, I was in a bank that time. It would be a struggle to get a customer to move from the cashier, although he had an ATM card in his pocket, to go to the ATM and withdraw the same cash. It was always more convenient because you wouldn't have to stand in a cashier queue. It was much faster, pretty much error free, okay, and self driven and very confidential. No one would see how much cash you're taking out, how much. But trust me, it was a huge issue. Okay. And then one day the tipping point happened. Today, you think that the ATM, I mean, all of us, most of us will not be able to even remember when was the last time we stepped into a bank branch. Right. So I really, really appreciate that one sentence you said is, yeah, customers are getting more used to the, if I may say, the digital interfaces across their life. So you call to a call center, your first interaction instead of a call agent that used to happen 20 years back is now with an IVR or an agent as a bot, which kind of tries and gives you the same answers, okay, that you got earlier. Now, are you as comfortable with that answer as you would be with an agent with whom you are interacting on a phone? It's a matter of time. You will, as long as the answers are functionally doing what you wanted, which means you for example, all you wanted to know is your flight on time. I'm just giving an example of a real example. I mean, you've booked for a flight. there have been some rumors about the airport having got some issues, and some runway has had some. Or why do you need to talk to a person for the functionality part of it? Now, if you're one of those people who really likes a warm-blooded person to be on the other side answering, yes, sir, your flight is on time, nothing can change that. But over time, I think the tipping point will happen where people will expect the same efficiency you get from an ATM. I'd rather go to an ATM and quietly withdraw the cash than take all the trouble of going to a bank branch and standing in a queue, waiting for the cashier, etc., etc. There would always be a certain place where a human intervention is needed. And I find that in our own platform that we have. So, by the way, all our transactions are digital on our platform. Whether you use your loyalty point or a voucher or a discount coupon to buy a goods or a service. So whether you're buying a OTT voucher, a e-commerce voucher, a movie ticket, plane ticket, a hotel room, or even topping up your mobile, all these are possible on our platform. It's all done digitally. But trust me, we also have a little small call center at the back, because if you had booked an air ticket to the Middle East, and we all know what happened there 3 months back, and suddenly the flight that you had booked went, for a cancellation spree across, sectors because of the people we've had. As much as it is still digitally possible to book another flight, suppose you're going on a holiday and now you want to reroute the holiday from somewhere else because that flight is gone, you sometimes feel more comfortable now at this juncture to have a person to call to. Okay. And so many of the organizations are going, if I may say, phygital, where they are trying to automate as much as they can, okay, and as to whatever extent they can from what is possible on the machine. But they do feel that there is a need for somebody at the back sometimes, okay, to sort of give comfort. It also is a function of customer segment. So, for example, a lot of senior citizens, given their sort of stage of digital evolution or their stage of digital knowledge and awareness, prefer that way. I do not think complete human interaction will ever go away. It is also very situation specific. Like an example I gave, sometimes it's very industry specific as well. Okay. And so for a company like me, or for a company like the clients for whom we run, the objective should be, yeah, automate everything using AI, agentic AI, machine learning, whatever words you want to use and technologies you want to use. But at the end, try and see where to keep that, that customer satisfaction alive. Try and ensure that at a certain place you do have the option, otherwise you will have huge issues going forward. And the same thing holds true on, for example, let's take an example of agentic commerce today. That's a word being used, bandied around quite a bit. Technically today with agentic AI, Priya, I can actually go ahead and finish a transaction based on a simple brief you've given. If you've given me, yes, I would like to have a great holiday in a particular part of Europe, using agentic AI, actually I can select the best flights, and I can ask you other questions like, are you into economy or are you price insensitive, stuff like that, and book you an entire experience. But trust me, you will not like it. You'll say, give me the options. I want to make the choice myself, right? Don't go ahead and book ahead for me. I may have wanted this. So there will always be at a certain point of of the transactional journey where you will want to step in as a human being, as a customer. So it's very important for organizations to realize where does one finish and where does one, the other one start.
I agree with you, Amresh, and I think it's clear while AI is enabling brands to operate with greater speed, scale, and personalization, the real differentiator continues to be the human element behind those interactions. I mean, we all customers today are aware of when they are engaging with automation and machines, and which means trust, transparency, and empathy are more important than ever. And again, like as AI systems become more autonomous and capable of making decisions in real time, brands will need to carefully consider how they preserve that authenticity across every customer touch point in the coming years ahead.
Yes, absolutely. Completely agree with that synopsis.
Yeah. So with that being said, Amresh, I think for the longest time, I think brands had to manage their customer experiences in silos, making it pretty much impossible to work efficiently or deliver those consistent journeys across different platforms and channels like mobile, email, or the e-commerce. Of course, this model no longer holds, and we have more comprehensive and powerful models. Again, thanks to agentic AI coming in the picture. So, how do you think agentic AI will redefine the relationship between customers and brands over the next few years?
I would take one step before that and then come to agentic AI. I think you very rightly, Priya, mentioned the first part, which is, if you went back into most customer journeys, whether it was a financial institution, whether it was a retail institution, whether it was you're an industrial customer of an industrial institution, because of lack of technology, the customer owning entity did not even know what all the customer did where. Let's take a simple example of a hotel. All of us have used a hotel. I could go into the front office, book a room. I could go into the restaurant, eat food. I could go to the spa, use the spa. I could go to the health club, use the swimming pool. But the if this in the old technology, there was no way where the hotel would know that this is the same customer as Mr. X who's actually gone to all these places, right? So, agentic AI comes much later. But the first thing that has happened with technology is, as you very rightly mentioned, is that, the CRM driven technologies that have evolved in the last decades has now made it possible for the entity that owns a customer to have one picture of the customer. So whether the customer is accessing you in the store, or he's also gone on your e-commerce platform and bought the same stuff. So he's used your online store as well as your offline store. He's also, gone ahead and purchased your voucher from another platform where it was available to buy. You would know all that. That was not possible earlier, and that's where actually if I may say, the ammunition that drives agentic AI comes in, because now, with the integration of this, the CRM sort of a thing that the entity had, the AI layers now sit on top of that, because now with current technology it is possible for the, let's take how this kind of manifests itself. If I know that last time that you go and stay in this hotel every 2 months, right? If I was an agentic AI, I would know that you're probably a business traveler there. I mean, no one goes for tourism to the same place every 2 months, right? The chance of that is very small. So you're likely a business traveler, or maybe you have family over there, but you don't stay at the place, whatever. So you are a habitual non-tourist sort of a traveler there, right? If I know that every time you go there, you actually end up, eating there. I know that if there is a, say, food festival happening in that hotel, okay, I should throw something at you saying, listen, Miss X, you have booked a room for so and so. Do you know there's a Thai food festival happening in the Thai restaurant of the hotel, and there's a celebrity chef coming from Bangkok or whatever? Would you want to, it's very, with the CRM now in place, agentic AI can make use of that information and make use of the fact that you get that complete experience across the platform. And as you rightly gave an example, across various parts of the touch points where you interact with the entity. And so there's a huge opportunity for the entities, therefore, to look at you, first of all, as one customer and not the siloed customer, as you rightly used the word, and then integrate all the information that you're getting, because the silos have actually got broken, to sort of put AI into play and customize and personalize it for you the way it could never have been done before. Very, 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 huge opportunity for every business to sort of invest in the technology, invest in the, in the sort of platforms that are coming in play.
I agree with you, Amresh, and I think that was a very powerful end to our conversation today. And I think, ultimately, AI adoption is reshaping the very definition of brand authenticity. And in this new landscape, authenticity is about honesty, responsibility, and the seamless blending of technology with genuine human values. Thank you so much, Amresh, for taking all the time and effort to be on our podcast today and sharing some wonderful insights from your end with regards to loyalty and how the entire customer ecosystem is evolving, and what are certain things probably brands can keep in mind to ensure that they are thriving on meaningful engagement along with the integration of tech solutions.
Thank you very much, Priya. Thank you for your time and the insightful conversation.
Thank you so much, Amrish. So, this is for our listeners. I hope you enjoyed today's discussion around customer loyalty and how it isn't just a nice to have, but it's a strategic asset that can drive long-term growth, stabilize revenue, and turns everyday customers into more powerful brand advocates. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes, and you can view all our previous episodes on Spotify and other leading platforms. Thank you so much.